Hello, everybody. Yikes, Bird Sky here. You're listening to Kiss Recovery 101. It is Sunday. It is 8 p.m., not 9 p.m. Totally threw my day off in a good way. I got an extra hour. It was great. I was feeling behind, and all of a sudden I realized I'm ahead. So wonderful. Anyway, if you haven't already, you got those old analog clocks in your home, like the stove or in the kitchen wall, that don't digitally automatically reset for daylight savings times. It's fall back. So fall back an hour. And it's been wonderful. I slept in, had a great weekend, went to this wonderful mind, body, spirit experience at the Earl Brown Center with one of my besties, Sarah. That was awesome. It was like I won't go on a tangent about that. But anyways, it's awakened me to so many other cool things. Um, I am alone. I'm alone, at least in my studio here, but I'm hoping. I did ask a few key friends, please, listeners, participate, okay? The whole point of the live show is to interact. I need comments, questions, viewpoints, your opinions. I need those things. I want those things because I don't know everything, far from it. And that's how I learn, really, is I actually don't talk this much. I promise. Most days, I mean, you can ask my roommates or my kids. Most days, I'm not that conversational, I think. I like to listen, and that's how I learn. And I especially love when people don't have the exact same or even close to the same viewpoints because I know it's an opportunity to learn and possibly change my mindset or, definitely completely 180 wherever I've been going, or just, I don't know. I love the aha moments, right? The pearls of wisdom. So tonight, this is new to me. So I am not even a practicing or know of any practicing um, folks. This is not a religion. I will clarify that. Um, but I don't know if you've heard of Daoism, also can be known as Taoism. I'm going to share this wonderful clip. So if you go on YouTube, and it's on the Motivation Arc channel, it's called The Greatest Advice You Will Ever Receive. Wayne Dyer. Okay, so it's a motivational one that I found, and I don't know if you've read the Alchemist, but I love it. There's those, is it odd or is it whatever, moments, those, like, all these things just seem to line up. I remember saying a lot of times, why did everything just seems to keep falling into place? Like I feel like I'm being pointed in this direction, and in this wonderful. I don't read any really fictional, but lately, but I read The Alchemist, and I really believe the best word is synchronicities, and whoa, mind blowing. And especially today, like the whole weekend, my whole week all came together today. And it started with last night listening to this. I'm going to just play it's a little bit, 3 minutes. Oh, a little less than 3 minutes. But it's a great clip of what'll start the whole show that we're going to be talking about. But I definitely feel like it all aligned to today, this moment, this evening. So the Tao, which means the way. So Tao actually can mean way or path or road. um, is the natural order of the universe. Rather than following particular rules, Daoists cultivate a sense of naturalness called Ziran. Sorry, I'm totally new to this. Taoists strive to be in harmony with natural order. Finding success in recovery is finding the right paths. Yes, that's plural, on your personal journey and truly finding connection with yourself. By being in tune with this concept, it is believed that one can avoid violence, suffering, and struggle. And I love that. And I have to share just this article I found, and then this clip, and it really aligns with me, especially where I'm at right now in my recovery. And I especially feel like that was a huge missing piece. And sadly, this morning, it's not sad. Like, it's nice too, but the Facebook memories pop up, and it was a cute picture of me and my kiddos. But unfortunately, it was 5 years ago. Yeah, we're all smiling. I'm fake. I'm smiling, but that is definitely a mask, and I remember exactly there I was at in that moment. It was really hard to just go back there for a couple minutes and remember that lost, broken person I was. And this time of year is a cycle for me. Like, this was my pattern. This time of year, seasonal depression time, also holidays times, and for me, it was always this time. I can look at all these Facebook memories, but I could just look. I did this grief timeline, grief recovery timeline, and literally, it was this time of year when I would go back out, or I would be, have a reuse, and it would be really, really bad. Many times I was in the hospital. Many times it was just awful. And so, especially this time now is my key point to self-awareness. Okay, so let's get into the clip. And then I'm so excited. So the hot seat, I actually asked many folks, most of them previous guests, to ask me three hot or passion, three hot and heavy questions. I'm a little scared. I wrote them down. I didn't like cheat. I mean, of course, I thought a little bit about them, but I'm like, I don't even know how I'm going to answer. These are some hot, heavy, scary questions. But thank you for those that sent those in, and let's get at it. Again, anybody listening, just say hi. I have no comments right now, which scares me. You don't have to ramble by myself here in this room. That's what's going to be, what's going to be. At least I got a clip and some fun memes at the end here. And I'll be answering questions into the abyss, the universe, if nobody interacts. But that's all right. Okay, here we go. 3-minute clip. Greatest advice, Wayne Dyer. Here we go.
This constant obsession with needing to be noticed, when in fact, what I have found for myself is the happiest moments of my life are when I can do it low and slow and not have anybody out there even know what I'm doing. To be able to, I mean, Louise never would have advertised the fact of some of the things I talk about with her generosity. She does it anonymously. It's almost always done in those ways. No, look at me, look and notice me, how important I am, and so on. So much to learn from that kind of wisdom, from that kind of inner connection to the Tao, the ability and the willingness to say, to do it anonymously, to say that you can just get done almost anything that you want to get done if you don't become obsessed with taking credit for it. Remember the movie The Magnificent Obsession? A movie made back, I think, in the 50s. And it was really about what was the magnificent obsession. It was the ability to be able to give anonymously. What is Alcoholics Anonymous? It is everybody stays anonymous. Nobody has a title. There's not even anybody in charge. There's nobody, there's no leaders of this. There's no president. There's no vice president. There's no organization. It's just, here's a group of people who just want to help other people whose lives are out of control. So here's a meeting place, and you come, and one day somebody will chair it, and then somebody else another day will chair it. And one of the things I found when I attend one of these meetings is that I feel, you'll see so many people who are downtrodden, who feel as if their life has passed them by, who look like they don't have any teeth, they haven't shaved, they're dirty, they're God in disguise. Mother Teresa was asked a question about what she does when she was in Calcutta, and she said, every day, I see Jesus Christ in all of his distressing disguises. All of his distressing disguises. That you can see this source, you can see the Tao, you can see it when, particularly in those who are the most obscure, the most isolated from everyone else. And whenever I go to one of those meetings and I hear people get up and they tell their stories, I feel there's so much presence of the source, of God, of spirit, of Lao Tzu, of Tao, whatever you want to call it, in one of those meetings than I've ever felt in any church. I've never felt the presence of it more. And I encourage you, any of you watching this right now, go to one of those meetings. You don't have to be an alcoholic. You don't have to. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't call myself an alcoholic. I was never out of control. I drank, but I wasn't out of control. But I still go to those meetings. I have people in my own family that have struggled with addiction, and I go with them, and I sit there and I listen to those stories, and I get shivers down my back when I think about how beautiful it is to be in the presence of people. All they want to do is help each other.
Oh my gosh, that totally just gave me shivers down my back. This video actually just came out 2 days ago. That's why I haven't been able to, like, process it for usually I process, anything I share with you guys, clips, for at least, like, a week or at least a few days, but I forgot that he mentioned the meetings. But if you listen to the whole thing, which I really encourage you to, he really quotes verses and stuff right out of the old Chinese, transcript. So, to clarify, so Daoism, um, is not focused on action or rituals. Daoists do employ like a number of practices, some of which are communal and influence the ways communities as well as individuals acts. These include passive and active meditation practices, as well as certain forms of martial arts, which I thought was dope. Um, Taoists stayed away from matters of any governmental stuff, preferring to live naturally and simply. I love that. Taoists promote a lifestyle of small, self sufficient communities in harmony with nature. And this means retreating from many aspects of the Chinese culture and society. So, what's interesting, I think, where I really align too. So, that for me is I practice what I preach, right? Okay. So I like to say there are so many paths to recovery. And for me, I can only say I found I needed more than just one path. And absolutely, you know, I definitely have a good foundation and I found a path that whatever, it constantly correlates, but I needed more paths. And here for me, I feel like I can't get complacent. I can't just go on one thing. Like for me, I love learning about all kinds of things, but when I find something like this, a different for me, this is a possible different path of recovery that I'm now studying. I feel like it's very similar to Buddhism, but again, just I like to question things, and there's been some things in um, the Buddhism, stuff that I'm still trying to understand and just kinda rubbed me the wrong way, I'll say. But not that I'm, like, shutting it down or turning it off, but I'm just definitely setting that stuff down right now. But, like, that is me. Like, I feel like recovery has to be something that you align and connect with, and that's ever gonna change. That's always changing. The world's changing, and people around you are changing, and as I got again, I have to change with that. I have to embrace change. I like to embrace change. I have to keep with that, because if I get stuck in my old ways and I get stuck in just one set of thinking, I know but really fast. It doesn't matter how beautiful my journey is now, how long down my paths I've been going, that I say this all the time, but that distance to the ditch is always gonna be the same. And that sounds morbid, but it's true. And this time of year reminds me of how deep that ditch is for me. Like I am so grateful that I have crossed over in the sense of I don't have the what ifs anymore. I don't have that obsession's lifted. Like I never have these thoughts, well, I can't say never, but I definitely don't have those cravings or triggers or anything. And especially when shit's hitting the fan and I'm stressed out and this time of year just sucks for me, family and holidays, whatever. Um, my first, second, third, fourth thought is never, maybe I should go use over that. Maybe I should go drink over that. No, it doesn't. I'm just grateful, but it took 17 years. And I feel like a lot of that 17 years was me, my own thinking, my own brain. And so that's why I've been trying to, that's why I do this podcast is another reason is just, I love to learn with people and, you can only keep what you have by giving it away. Okay. So maybe Taoism, this might not be in something you're into, but if at all, at any point, you do feel like, "Oh, this is something cool, I wanna get into it," like, yes, let's do it. So oh, and Confucius. Okay, so I told you I did this really cool, uh, weekend, mind, body, spirit. Well, on Halloween, I also went and saw a psychic, medium, spirit guy. It was really cool, and he shared some cool stuff, and then I was just on this thing, whim, so, like, Monday. Tuesday. What was it? Wednesday. I don't know. It's a blur for me. That's why I have to check in nightly with my higher power. Um, I did this really cool session where we tapped into the other world or whatever you want to say, but we got to talk to like okay, I don't want to freak people out, but anyway, we brought up the Confucius, which is fantastic because Confucius, I actually have a little statue of him in my room. I love his quote, um, it's the man who says he can and the man who says he can't are both right. And so, woo, that makes me think of some of these questions I got to answer. Uh, but it was true. Like, if you think you can't, you're not going to. And if you think you can, I, anyway, was living, breathing proof of it. Once I really started to just say, I'm going to do it. I can do this. I'm going to do it, whether I deep heartedly believed it at that time or not. Where I sit here today is I can. I will flip that script. And it really helps. And so um, it was beautiful. Okay. Moving on. So, oh, yay! Okay, so if this is your first time listening, KISS is a beautiful acronym. Keep it simple, stupid, which just reminds me now, let's keep it to the point, Bridge. And then recovery 101, so basics. And luckily for you, I'm real basic on this concept right now. But immediately, this made me think of my biggest worst enemy, myself, was that I had definitely mixed up and confused, and I didn't even know who I was. And I realized, yes, I didn't even know how much I was just really seeking connection with other people. But when I finally surrenders, when I finally felt like I crossed over, was when I finally aligned and connected with myself. So it was Oprah who I shared one time speaking that she said, you can't truly align or connect with other people until you truly connect with yourself. So that was not spoke on anything to do with recovery. Now, how I tie that into recovery is that's easier said than done, right? So I couldn't really truly feel connected with other people because I didn't even know myself. I hadn't connected with myself. And I couldn't even do that truly until I forgave myself. And that took a lot of hard work. But anyway, there's this beautiful verse in the Tao. You listen to that whole uh, YouTube motivational. I love this. He says, so it's apparently the 66th verse of the Tao. It says, water again, the sea stays low. And because the sea stays low, all of the rivers and all of the streams empty into it. Ooh, Wayne Dyer, man, he's awesome. He said it so that's like because the sea it stays humble, right? And because it's staying in one place of just allowing everything to come to you. And so the lesson is of what we know is going to be coming anyway. Like we already know this, what's coming is coming, but let it come to us. So life, let it come to you. Be in the present moment. I could just tie all these things in, and I found that service and finding service and giving back where I felt passion allowed a light to come on in me and allowed me to love deeply with people that I truly connect with. And aren't negative people that I was investing so much time and energy and love and tried to have these relationships with people that just weren't good for me. So anyway, okay, so moving on. Oh, you guys, let's see. Facebook user hearts. Yay. Hi, Facebook user. Yes, the holidays. 100%. And here's what happened. Oop. Oh, yeah, first alarm. Kiss Interact. I'm doing good. Yay. Where's my roller skates? Sorry, I love that jam. It just makes me feel light already. Okay. Um, the holidays. Yes. And that was the big thing is, oh, it was Tuesday. Sarah's listening. Yay. Um, in my relapse reuse cycles of really really dark back out in the ditch terrible hospital. I mean, I have never sat down and listed out all the awful rock bottoms someone like myself experienced, which weren't rock bottoms, just trap doors. But it was this time freaking year. And I know it always started kind of lightly. I'd go back into use, maybe lightly, moderately, whatever I thought was moderate anyway. So I wouldn't have any consequences right away. Well, let me tell you, over the years, they got time span got shorter, quicker. But it always started right around the kids coming off of summer and getting the kids back into school. Like that was really hard for me to do by myself. It was really overwhelming, but it was like season change, schedule change. Then you tie in well, holidays, people and families, and it's supposed to be happy times, but I wasn't happy. So I wanted to escape and I wanted to numb and I wanted to feel that emptiness. And I, felt like I knew that quick answer, but it always woke up. I always woke up feeling 10 times worse, 10 times more alone. And it was never good. So, but again, I didn't even know myself. I didn't even know what I enjoyed and what was what I valued anymore. I lost my sense of value and interconnection. And so for sure, so when I say I've crossed over, for me, it just means that I have crossed over from that self-will kind of recovery thing, self-will versus higher power will. I'm more I feel like self-knowledge recovery is my jam, like just really building and growing my own inner connection by learning and sharing and connecting with other people. Um, and what's interesting, oh, this just makes me think of it. So again, religion is interesting. And I love the word spirituality, okay? And I love spiritual paths, but I definitely have my own connection and alignment with that. But I remember that just recently, actually, I went to a meeting. It was a fun medallion presenting one. And of course, whatever the topic, I can't remember exactly what the topic was, but it was on the God word, right? Good orderly direction or guided direction or um, God, higher power, whatever that is to you. But I remember it made me think of, I had this aha moment and I posted it. Luckily, I was actually expecting more controversy, but nobody really said anything. But it really, I wanted to share it in that meeting, but I just felt like, what's my audience here? No, I just need to listen. But this really, I shared this because this is where I'm at. I feel like, and is what aligns with me presently. I wrote, what if self will, in quotations, starts to align with the greater spirit or creator or universe or God? Question mark as my, in quotation, self will becomes more balanced and centered, my soul and spirit connecting in love, I believe I do not need to choose between self will versus God's will. The focus, for me anyway, can change and change towards unity of one will. All right, now I'd rewrite that and say one will, like as in my self will, one will, and to be one with self and spirit. And that's how I check in at night is I don't go, is this my will or the higher universe's will? I'm more aligning to within myself. I just feel like I've aligned now with being that light of the universe. And so I don't have to go pros or cons, liabilities or assets or this or that. Just now I'm just focused on just did this day feel right? Did I feel like I did the best that I could and more reasonably? Okay. So anyway, Facebook users, hot seat questions, yes. Um, those are gonna be coming up here very shortly. Let's see, was there anything else? See, I don't have anybody here to ask viewpoints. But if anybody does anything about Taoism, please make a point to say that you do or that you find it interesting. I know that I wrote some more notes. Look at I got all my papers here. Um, and you all will be happy to know the next weeks, I actually have guests. I'm full for the next 6 weeks, which is great. And that way I also can throw in some backup peeps in case I just freaked myself out and I realized I hit up a bunch of people. So I have a long list of plan A people, guests and plan B guests. So you don't have to deal with me just by myself here. But okay. Anyway, so I find that so with the Chinese, so this is Chinese is where it's the Tao is. Oh, see, Sally's here though. See, Sally, you just scared the shit out of me. My speaker assistant Sally's here. Um, but I believe that so the Taoism or Daoism actually, which again, Tao can mean way, the road, path, a course, method. Um, but it is the way to deeply, truly connect with others. It's first to connect with yourself. So that's how I see Taoism. And if some things aren't working today, where you sit, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling like you might reuse, maybe you already have reused. Okay, I've had a lot of people in my circle that has it. I totally get it. That's where I've been at. I definitely feel those same and like that uncomfortableness, and that's definitely what I like about the Zen or Dharma recovery is sitting in that uncomfortable, those feelings, right? I can finally do that now. Um, but if something's not working, okay, whatever it is, the point I think is it's so important to find out what that is. And I definitely encourage you not to do it alone. Like, find out why first off you feel uncomfortable or what's hurting or why you reused or why you feel like you want to reuse, but definitely don't do it alone. I mean, do what you need to do, but isolating, and this is me, I'll just say for me, isolating was my worst thing I could have done to myself. I imprisoned myself in my own mind and shut people out when in fact what I really need to do is start reaching out. And I just say, find one person, even if it's just one person. You don't even have to like tell them everything. I sure didn't. I spoke in codes, but I would make a point. Now I make a point. I still speak in codes just because I don't know. I still don't like asking for help, but I definitely make a point to not struggle alone. And when I'm feeling uncomfortable, especially at coming up on 3 years here, I'm like, why? Why? And if I can't figure out immediately why I'm not feeling like I'm living my best right life here, I reach out and I talk to those people. And I like to go to new meetings and talk to new people because a lot of times there's a lot of new stuff that comes to me that I'm just like, yes, I needed to hear that. Um, a Facebook user says, sounds like growth and alignment. Yes. Ooh, I'm going to show that one. Oh, see? There you go. Evidence based. If you could look at the screens on the phone right now, see, Facebook user, you're anonymous. Your privacy is withheld. So you're welcome. No, I'm just kidding. But if you ever feel comfortable sharing who you are, feel free to check or uncheck whatever that option is when you go on StreamYard, that box, so that I can actually see who you are. But shout out. Okay, it is almost that time. Let me get my sound effects ready. So let's just go ahead and get the hot seat over with. Yee! I'm getting a little excited. I'm trying to lower my voice because I find that I've been listening to myself lately on a couple of different shows. Yeah, I don't like when I sound too excited. It makes me, for me, I sound like a little schoolgirl. It's very um, underwhelming. Okay. Um, where's my sound effects? See, I can't even concentrate. It's just been mush, but a good mush. I did have some great self 100% care time, and the mind, body, and spirit thing was awesome. And Sarah, shout out, totally spoiled me. She made this amazing piece. I don't even know how she just does that. She literally did that in like less than, like, she started it a little bit last night, then this morning, and then I came home or about to leave lunch. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And anyway, I'm grateful. Okay, sound effects. Here we go. Oh yeah, Sally turned off. I mean, we don't need Sally. Sally, I'll just go ahead and play this sound effect from my phone. Oh, perfect timing. Here we go. It's hot seat time for me. Yeah. And to be honest, I already forgot which ones. I kind of tried to just go in order of first come, first serve on the questions. So here we go. Hot seat questions, people. Actually, all of them were from previous guests. Thank you very much. Oh, that's so nice. That's the support and love I need to keep doing this. I gotta tell you, I've been having some moments of should I really continue this? And I realized, yes, it doesn't matter if nobody listens or likes it or whatever, talk shit. This is for myself and for my kiddos. And I have a lot more things that need to be said. I don't know everything. Okay. Again, rambling. Okay, let's just get into the questions. Okay, where's my notebook? Yes, I wrote them down because I don't like looking at my phone or too much, especially when I'm multitasking here. Okay, question number 1 was from Ange. Ooh, shout out Ange. Okay, she was on here with her sister, but guess what? Ange is so kind. I've been looking for like a co-host. It definitely, I know that's a lot. This is weekly. It's a big commitment, but I did talk her into. Just kidding. I didn't like. I hope I didn't make her feel pressure, but she's willing to try monthly, coming back, co-hosting, and I think we're going to align with. Well, it's going to align with boundaries, which is always a big, huge topic that goes way beyond I think what a lot of people know, and it took me a long time to understand. But really, it's going to be on relationships. Eh? And those could be all kinds of relationships. But yes, monthly, starting next week, topic relationships. And we'll be back co hosting. Yay! Okay, her question to me was is spending time alone painful? So, yes, it can be. More so, I would definitely say my first year of this found really good path this time on recovery. It was almost impossible for me to be alone. I got too much in my head. I was still coming off of a lot of things. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of um so especially when even the kids, I had gotten the kids back finally at one point. I can't remember. I think it was like almost at when I had a year. They were back home with me full time, but they'd still go away on the weekends, and I could not. I struggled hard being alone in my house, and I still was like not the most confident meeting goer, whatever person. So that's how I found, like, for me, reading daily meditations, YouTube videos. I get a piece of recovery every day. So where it sits today, I'm happy to say this is a positive question because no, it is not painful anymore. Luckily, when I dropped off my little guys uh, this weekend, I had my friend with me, Sarah, and I literally told her right away, "Oh, I'll just share this person." Right away, I'm like, "I'm angry, Sarah." It was so nice. It's a drive down to like Cannon Falls, Rochester area. Okay, so it's a minute. Usually I'm by myself and then I'm in my head. It was so nice to have a co-pilot right next to me and I could just vent it out loud. And literally, I did not suffer as much as I usually do. But I told her, "I'm angry. I'm so angry." Like my cutest youngest son had me in a headlock. Like he didn't want to let me go. It was so cute. It's so hard. But venting to her out loud, it was for me acknowledging, yes, I'm angry. I get to be angry. It sucks that them going away is so hard more for them now because they're not used to it. And so, but I realized after yapping to her, and I realized it's because I'm really hurt. I'm sad. I'm sad that they don't have as much time with their other family. I'm sad that they don't have that immediate go to. I'm so happy to go visit thing. And so I'm deeply sad, within myself. Okay, that's good on that. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, question number 2, Grace. Ooh, great shout out to Grace. She was on my show. Geez, when was that? Oh, I went to the festival, Pride Festival. Yes, Grace. Um, what type of relationships triggered you the most during relapses? Ooh, yes, that was. Oh, yeah, that. Oh, yeah, I remember swallowing hard on that one. That's a good question. Um, Off the top of my head, for sure. I mean, initially it was my ex relationships, but when I look back, that was definitely a feeling of being not wanted, being rejected. I felt like I invested and loved that person so much, and it really, I didn't want to feel the feelings of they didn't love me as much. It wasn't even that, but yeah, I definitely remember that really go down low, beating myself up. But definitely the one that always pops in my head that still comes to heavy on my heart is my sister. Um, and she is one of us. Well, not yet. I mean, she doesn't, that I know of anyway. I haven't talked to her in a few years. Found any kind of form of recovery or even wants it really. But that definitely has always been a trigger. And I think for the hardest relapses, it was easy to escape with her because we would both then I felt like we connected more, whatever. We'd had these deep conversations. But reflecting back now, it makes me want to cry because the truth is, I can't speak of for her, but me, I guess I wouldn't say both of us. I'm trying to say it not directly. I felt that it was the only time I could really let my guard down and be upfront and honest with her, and vice versa. But unfortunately, I feel like it also was this window of, well, I can forgive for all the hurt that she had caused me, or she forgave me for all the hurt, or I forgave myself for all the hurt I caused her. And it was this fake it was this fake connection. And that's why I don't like use or substance use at all, because for me, it's just an escape from who I really am. And it's an excuse to not be, to really feel my feelings. And it's like, it saddens me. I don't even want to be around people that use any kind of substance, just alcohol even, or whatever, because it's, for the most part anyway, in my own opinion, is that it's an escape, even if it's just a short escape from who you really authentically are. And I'd rather suffer through anxiety and my insecurities, because no matter what, it is really me at the end of the day. And if they want to hang out and talk to me the next day, or they still want to be my friend a week later, those are the people I keep around me. Okay, I'm moving on. Moving on. But great, really great question. Okay, next question from Dan. Dan actually was on when we did the show on Dharma recovery. Dan, your question is really, really hard. Actually, I think you tried to sneak in like four of them, so I'll try to answer. Let's see. When did you realize your core beliefs were negative and turned into punishing myself? What were some? Ooh. And okay. I'm just going to answer that. When did I realize my core beliefs were negative? Mm, definitely. Oh, sheesh. I think it was when my values really got twisted. This is why I'm actually grateful for all my experiences. It's really still weird to say that. All my shitty experiences that it took me to get to this point really helped me realize that these moral values that I had been believed in my soul and spirit um, were unreasonable and kind of more forced upon me socially, culturally, from childhood, all those things. But I really felt like if I didn't outdo the best person, I wasn't the best absolute possible perfect human being, um, that I was a bad person. It, but when it got really messed up, I think when I noticed my brain was just, now I can look back and see this is why I know alcohol also is an addiction, is because my own beliefs of like good and bad, values, whatever. All I don't even like the word moral values just were so twisted. And it started with like, I drink and use because I want to. And then it turned into, well, I had a rough day, long day at work, and all the things, it's a good, I could do it. I should do it because it helps me unwind. And then it turned into, well, it helps me sleep. And then it turned into, well, it helps me relax. It helps with my anxiety. Just all kind of like, ooh, it was such a downward spiral, but I didn't see it. And okay, main point is, it's when it turned into like the self-validating. My mind was like, I drink, this helps me relax. Everybody does. Everybody smokes a little weed. Everybody tries some things on the weekends. You have neighbors weekly, whatever. Okay. Anyway, it crossed over from self-validating and it more became self-justifying. I was justifying the reasons for use. And then it turned into, ooh, it makes me want to cry, but it turned into justifying the horrible things I was doing, mostly to myself if I look back, but just, ugh, just, yes, I'm not going down the rabbit hole. But that was the moment, I almost died. Like, not even talking about the attempts that I put upon myself, but there was situations could have been murdered. I was left out of the bit. Oh god, I'm so grateful I survived, but definitely in my head. And oh, I could take it down next one more peg. It went from self justification to self freaking punishment, and I was like, "See, that's what you get." Oh, I remember exactly how I talked to myself. That's what you get. You deserve everything that happens to you. You're hurting. You got this injury. You got bad experiences. That's you get that. That's what you get. And so it was this endless cycle of I drink to forget the pain, or I drink I feel guilty because I drink, and I drink because I feel guilty, and it was just endless, awful, or horrible pattern and cycle. And this time of year, red flag to me. That's why, like this weekend, I made a point to be like, "Okay, friends, what are you doing? I am not going to be alone." Even though I feel awesome and I know I have a list of joy things, I just I just know myself. I'd rather not be alone at any moment. Okay. LOL awesome. Um Co-pilot, yeah! No excuses and November. Oh, November! Yes! Let's talk about November. Mhm. Okay. Okay, I hope that was good enough. Oh, and Jason Rudine, shout out. He's been on here. He is a host of the Way Out podcast, and a plug to Recovery Revolution Live. That's Thursdays on YouTube. I love it. 7 p.m. our time here, Central. They do a podcast, way cooler podcast, by the way. There's video, multiple people, multiple hosts, really great guest, actually. The woman who was on just this last Thursday, her story's amazing. She's like a judge. And, oh my gosh, like I can't even imagine. Like she truly, and she just wrote a book, which I'm gonna get, but it's about like, you think you can't conquer your dreams. This woman story is amazing, and she sits here today as a judge, and her story. Oh yeah, if she could do it, I could do it. I hope so. That was powerful, powerful guest. But they get the coolest guests, let me tell you. Anyway, sorry, but he asked what I was gonna do his question first because he was the first one, but then I realized so positive. I'd rather end on a positive note. But he asked, "What do you hope to do in 5 years?" So I want you to know, Jason, and anybody listening, I asked the psychic guy, "Hey," he's like, "Well, so what any questions do you have?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't have any questions. What do you want to tell me?" He's like, "You don't have anything?" I'm like, "Well, I have a dream. I have a dream to one day have some land in my own community." I didn't say recovery. My own. I didn't want him to get. I wanted to keep the questions very specific and let him tell me. But I was like, I want a community where it's self-sustaining. And in my mind, I'm thinking cool, tiny houses, and we all like grow our own vegetables, and we all have meetings, and we all like a recovery community on some land. And then on the side part of the land is treatment. Like it wouldn't be called treatment; it'd be like a retreat for new folks coming in or trying recovery, and then the rest of us all live there. Anyway, silliness. But he said, I don't see something like that like in the next 5 years. He didn't say that. He goes, well, I immediately already second guessed myself. I'm like, oh, well, I know that's going to be a long time. But he actually corrected me. He goes, actually, no, it's not. He said, I see by next year, you're going to have started something. It's still going to be within the city, but you're going to have started something that's going to grow into something. And he says, yes, I do see. And in my head, I'm like, how about 3 years? Maybe even less, Jason. 5 years? Listen, I'm at a like 3 year cutoff right now. But I would love to really be on the cusp or really about to have this retreat slash treatment recovery where people get a chance to find themselves first and then figure out what they want to do for recovery. Okay. Ooh, I'm loving my alarms today. Okay, that means last segment, which will be perfect. Shout out again, Sarah. November. I did get you. I slipped that meme and you got to me. Beautiful. Okay. Let me take this off. Okay, listeners, any questions, comments? Feel free. Just know right now I'm going to be showing you these memes. Thank goodness. Uh, it's just me here. But I'm going to show you the memes. It's live Facebook meme time. So you get to see them. And these are just memes that I just screenshotted. I loved for whatever reason. And now I'm going to share them with you. These are just memes for the week. And I did slip in a great one from Sarah. We're talking about what November is. Oh, and I did forget again, last week we talked about the dictionary. Yes, it's a real thing. Go on the dictionary. I'm going to share a couple more stigma alert words that come straight from that dictionary. If you check that out, we talked about that last week. But okay, here we go. First meme. Oh wait, sound effects. Ugh, I'm so lost in my world here. Okay, thanks to Miss Juliet, I have fantastic sound effects that help if my Bluetooth earbuds aren't on. Let's go ahead and turn those off. So silly. Sally, thought you'd be on that. Okay, here we go. Okay, what is the volume down? What is going on? Oh. Oh yeah, this is meme time. Meme time. Do you love the first one? Okay, if you are actually able to, you have a pretty current phone, you can look at it. You see I forget. Oh my gosh, he's from the Nickelodeon show. Anyway, he's a comedian. He's fantastic. He's funny. He's doing like a replay of that. I can't even remember the show now. What is it? It's a show where at the end you could become a millionaire, but it shows him looking crazy, scared. His eyes are just bugged out, and at the top of his head it says "My ADHD." And so, like at the game show, you have to answer right. You get 4 options, and it says, "So my ADHD, how to have a conversation?" Question mark is interrupt them. B is trip over your words. C is zone out. Oh, I can't even say. Hold on, I gotta get rid of this little banner. Here we go. Okay, or D is get really excited about the topic and freak them out. This is fantastic. This definitely highlights and adds humor to what can be ADHD, especially if you don't know you have it, and you have no possible skills that you've learned yet or medications. But I would say E, all of those. Interrupt them, trip over your words, zone out, or get really excited about the topic and freak them out. I would say all those things imply it could be what during one conversation. Yes. Ding. Okay, moving on. Beam number 2. Oh, and feel free to comment. I will be popping back into the comments right after we get through this, so go fast because it's just me. Okay, so there's a top and a bottom view pictures here. On the top, it shows a decent looking. Let's see, he's got a tie on. Happy father figure, I guess. The 3 children or a child. Oh my god, I don't even have my glasses on. As a child laying in the bed. Let me get close to the screen. Already sleeping probably or looking sleepy, going to bedtime. And at the bottom is like a Joe Rogan looking guy. And he's looking kind of angry maybe. He's, he's wearing a t-shirt, he's wore like low key. Anyway, it says most parents at the top is the happy whatever family dude. It says most parents. Um the aliens aren't real. They can't hurt you. Me as a parent. Yeah, that's right. I got this one from Risha. Me as a parent. This is the bottom. It says, they don't come from the sky. They're just interdimensionally there, are among us. Ding! That's me. I'm not going to be like, oh, they don't exist. They can't hurt you. Actually, I kind of believe that it's very possible they're among us. They've been watching us. I actually made jokes with my roomie. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be kind of cool if you've ever seen that movie with Jim Carrey where they all watch him? What if these aliens are out there in the universe just watching us humans? You know, they get to pick different channels, different parts of the world, and just watch how dumb we are. Anyway, okay, that was me. Meme number 3. Oh, this is a good one. Just words. Sobriety is not a one time choice, it's a decision that we have to make over and over and over again. Yes. Well, okay. Yes. I've heard that a lot. I remember hearing that a lot in the beginning. It annoyed me, but here's what I love about it sitting here today is I get to make that decision over and over. But it's hard. Like this time of year is really hard. But guess what? I'm at this place where, especially the recovery community is so important to me because I know what a struggle it is. We all know what a struggle it is. And it's like we get to struggle and have to make this choice. I don't have to now. I get to make this choice to be so sober. I don't even like the word sober. In recovery every day. And I know I'm not alone. And it's hard sometimes to be sit in myself and feel my feelings, but I'm not alone. I have y'all with me. And I think that's why, it's kind of hard. It's heartbreaking. It's disappointing sometimes. It's not judgment, but I feel sadness when someone falls off because for me, it's like, oh man, like I thought you were here struggling with me to stay sober. It sucks. It's like it's more like it's just like an immediate, quick, like I feel alone again. Like oh, another one's going out, and why do I have to? Like Sarah pointed out. Sorry, I've said her name like 10 times. But we hung out all weekend. It was wonderful. But just said like sometimes it's overwhelming and it sucks to always be that bigger person. But I'm grateful to be on this side, right? I'm grateful for the steps that I follow. I'm grateful for all the different things I'm learning and self-reflecting on, and just that awareness because I get to show up and be there for people. I get to try every day. I try to be the best version of myself that I can be. Okay, moving on. Next meme. Ooh, this is really cool. So it's a woman, oh, dark hair. You can't see her face, dark hat, holding a raven or crow, maybe. It says, women are taught to be too many things that contradict each other. So I've decided to just be strange and powerful. Oh, yeah, I love that one. That's how I feel. Strange and powerful. Shatara Leora, a mad girl's love. Ooh, I can't read it. Can't read who the quote's from, but I love that. And I don't think it's just women, but I definitely think it definitely aligns with females, girls growing up, and I definitely felt overwhelmed a lot of times and very contradictory. Hey, you got to do this, but actually, let's have you do that and be more like this. And then, no, you need to do that. So now I just do what I do, and some people think I'm strange. And I guess I feel powerful. Whatever, I feel empowered. I don't care. Next meme. Oh yes, I got this from Work, their Facebook. We recovery. You live once, so think twice. Beautiful. I love that. That's straight to the point. You live once, so go ahead and think twice about stuffs. That just makes sense. You have this one moment. You might only have this one moment, this one opportunity. You might only have this one day. So take a moment to pause and don't initially always go with that first thought, especially if you don't feel so good about it. Take a minute. Think on it. Yeah, great. Next meme. Oh, yes, great. I just been on this. I don't know. I've just been on this uh, plane lately. Okay, so there's an alien looking like really cool. I see it in this cool jacket. I like the jacket. Very, what would be metro looking, well dressed alien sitting next to this woman, and she's holding a book, and the alien's pointing at the book, and it says, "Oh, I just realized I'm the alien." Okay, it says, "Me explaining my way of thinking to normal people." Oh, I forgot this one. Yes, I guess I'm the cool looking metro alien there explaining my way of thinking to normal people. Hence podcast. Moving on. Moving on. Next meme. Oh, good. Just words. You spend $10 a day on lunch. That's 300 a month. That's 900 in 3 months. You can afford to travel, but you don't like making sandwiches. Oh gosh, I thought this was gonna be a mean one. It is kind of mean, and it's because it's accurate. But it's funny to me because yeah, I don't always like cooking at home. I don't always like making the sandwiches. I'd rather just order Jimmy John's, and that is why I don't get to go and don't do vacations much. It's one of my resolutions. I'm working on it. Okay. Oh, this was a nice one. I was gonna end it with this one, but we're gonna do the November one. No, November meme last. Second to last, it says, "It's okay to," and it has cute little pictures of about like a daisy, a rainbow, like branch of leaves, pineapple, flower. Okay, those don't matter, but they're cute. I think that's why I got drawn to it. It says, "It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help. it's okay to take a break. It's okay to not know what's next. And it's okay to say no. Yeah, I love that. So, anyone listening, especially if you've never heard this show before, you are not alone. And myself and so many thousands of people, hundreds of people I know for sure, right here locally based, but thousands of people. Um, we're all different and unique, and I mean unique as in a sense of we all have our own lives that we've lived and paths that we're going, and we all have our own ways of thinking. But a lot of those things, you might feel like you're alone, but there's probably somebody out there like me who's really outside the box. Many of us in recovery, actually, that's why I love. I think people in recovery are more unique individuals versus the world, and I feel like that's why we fell into substance use disorders, because we're like those people that do think outside the box a lot of times, or really do want to live life. And when you feel like maybe you're not accepted, this is me. When I felt like I wasn't accepted, I felt like I can't fix what people think I need to do to be normal. I can't, you know, say what I want to say. I can't do what I want to do because it might hurt somebody or somebody will judge me or I'm just going to fail. Like, I really thought that I'm not even getting to the bad experiences, especially in my youth, but I really felt like I was the worst, shittiest person. I felt unique in a negative way, like no one could be this messed up. And when I finally, really took that time and really thought about what I was thinking and made only a couple connections in the beginning, just one, it starts with one. Outside of myself, I really started to grow and learn and realize we're beautiful, fantastic, great people. My family in recovery. Okay, last week, here we go. Sorry, we keep rambling. Oh, thanks, Sarah. Yes. So November. Let's talk about November, you guys. This is a great. I'm gonna definitely make a point to talk about this a lot more through this month. But November um, is about practice saying no and follow through. Don't blame anyone and don't allow guilt to follow. Ooh, I love that. So that's what November, that's the theme on that. And so this meme says it's okay to say no if you don't want to do it. No if you're already overscheduled. No if you don't have the time. No, I love this one. No if you feel forced to say yes. So if you immediately feel like you got to say yes, like like somebody maybe's guilt tripping you, like, oh, I should say yes. Go ahead and say no first, okay? Don't commit to anything. I love that one. That's definitely a good one for me. No, if it doesn't make you happy. No, if you'd rather relax. It's okay to say no, right? And that is the key thing to really what understanding what boundaries are, just practice, practice, practice. I definitely was never able to do that, let alone set any boundaries. I would not ever say no, even if I didn't want to, even if I was way overscheduled, even if I knew I was gonna hate it or do it favors or whatever, I would not say no. And it's so empowering that I learned the skills to say no. And it really helped empower myself and advocate for myself. Um, and it was important to just, I would say, if you want to attempt this November thing, pick somebody you trust, right? Anybody. Tell them what you're going to do. Say, hey, guess what? It's November. Will you be my, will you be my practice person? And I'm putting this out there too to anybody that knows me. Practice on me. Well, first tell me that, this is what you're doing. I think just tell somebody that this is what you're doing so that they don't take it personally in case they are tenderhearted. But practice, because the more I practiced it, the more I could let go of that guilt. The more I could let go of that. I would feel shameful if like this person did so much for me, I could never tell them no. And unfortunately, that was terrible because I always felt like I owed them something. And a lot of those people knew that. And so they'd take advantage of me and it'd suck the energy and the light right out of me. I call them energy vampires. You know who you are. No, you don't. You're probably not listening, but you're not in my life anymore. Anyway, but yeah, pick someone. Pick someone you trust. Pick a couple people. Say, hey, guess what? I'm doing this November thing. So is it okay if I practice with you, and maybe it's not someone you need to say no to, but you could definitely, especially if you feel off, like, I told them no. I really feel bad about this. Go ahead, call your person. Be like, I said no. I feel like I should call a change. What do you think I should do? Or maybe you call, hey, I have a plan. See, this came into my mind. Have them as like a backup. Like, you got to text them or pretend you're getting a vibration in your pocket. Pull out your phone and be like, oh, hang on. Do. Text that person. Hey, I'm in a situation. Yeah, I gotta say no, you know, and then you can talk to him about it. But just start practicing saying no, because guess what? No is a complete sentence. Okay, I'm getting off of this. Sorry. Let's go back to comments. And oh, yes, it's time. It's a wrap. Okay, let's see. Oh, meme time. Yeah. I hate ad. Oh, yes. No excuses. November. Yes, yes. Cool. Okay, let's see. And then, oh, and over, and then. Ooh, I don't know. My mind is all over the place. Squirrel, I can't remember. I don't remember what that is. But somebody said true. Somebody did laugh out loud. Thank you. Thank you. At least somebody's laughing with me. I'm not just laughing myself. Okay, everybody. Oh, real quickly, 2 more seconds. A dictionary. Let me pull them up on my phone. I love the dictionary. So I'm just going to pull a word or two from the dictionary. So if you go on recoveryanswers.org, this is a real thing. I didn't believe it at first. Instead of the dictionary, which I think is very corrupted, by the way, against people in recovery. I'm serious. I could make some points maybe later at a later time. Anyway, go ahead and go at a dictionary. And if you advocate at all, and you're not a social person, or it makes you feel uncomfortable for whatever reason, many valid reasons, but you really do want to advocate, start by using recovery language. Use that language that's in place now, that is validating, it's loving, and it's changing. It is changing people's minds, and it's so beautiful to see this. It's starting as a ripple, and honestly, with myself, even just using that language is really made me feel empowered, really make a point to stand up for other people, especially too. Um, but to get rid of the stigma. Okay, here we go. D for dope sick. Okay. We're out of a dictionary. So dope sick, sorry. Stigma alert. Okay, dope sick in the dictionary is a slang term used to reference withdrawal symptoms from opioid, such as heroin. It is preferable to use more accurate terminology, such as suffering from withdrawal. So, again, it's a stigma alert because, yeah, dope sicks. I mean, especially for the outside world, but even in the recovery world, I don't use dope sick anymore, unless I'm actually referring to that show. Okay, whatever. But I don't like to say stuff like this because it's demeaning, and it might be demeaning to somebody who is catching your conversation. You don't even know it, they don't even know it, but they hear you say that. It might be hurtful, and it might trigger shame. So if you can, you know, try to use suffering from a withdrawal, instead of dope sick. Ooh, dope sick. Okay, the last one, D for drug. This is also a stigma alert. Why? Drug can mean either a medication or a non medically used psychoactive substance. The term drug has a stigma alert due to the ambiguity of the term. This ambiguity, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I'm hoping to say ambiguity may create a barrier to assessing prescription psychoactive medications in cases where their use is medically appropriate. Oh, I like how they capitalized is. So many advocate instead to use medication or non medically used psychoactive substances. Well, that's a long one. So instead of saying drug, go ahead and say medication. But this helps to decrease stigma and communicate with greater specificity, spe- specificity, whatever. I can't say it. Anyway, go on, go on the dictionary. But okay, so starting that up, make it real basic. Instead of saying drug, I like to say substance. They didn't even point that out. But instead of saying drug, you could say medication, or you could say a non that's weird. I wouldn't say non-medically used psychoactive substance. I just say substance instead of drug. Because again, like the point is, it could also just be a prescription drug, right? And well, that's a whole other thing. Prescriptions drugs are meant to be used as prescribed. So, okay, that was it. I'm done. I'm getting out of here. Everybody have a great night. Thank you for submitting the questions. Thank you for participating. I love you guys. Whew, I actually feel just this relief of support and encouragement. And I will next week, Ange will be on. We're gonna talk about our four relationships. Yay! Okay, here comes the fun music. Where did I put that? Okay, have a great week, everybody. Thanks for checking in, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye. A B C D E F G